Y'all know what it is. I'm back. It's your boy Big Bootsie. We doing this one live. What's up, Facebook people? What's up, Facebook world? I got a goodie for y'all, man. We at the Shabella Recreational Community Center. We inside the shoe store side. It's a lot of parts to this center, and guess what? I bought the mastermind herself, who brought this whole thing to life, man. Y'all welcome, man. This is Miss Shea Shabella, the owner. So,
Hello. Being
that we got you here now. Oh yeah, and I'm the first one with an interview now. I'm the first.
You
Yeah.
are the first.
That's what's up. All right,
Trick me.
let's get into something. She said I tricked her, y'all, but it's a good one though, cause she deserved it.
I'm shy, but not shy.
She shy, but you is shy. She deserved it. She deserved this, and y'all need to hear her story because it's a big one. It's a very big one. We ain't gonna get a chance to go all the way into it, but I wanted y'all to hear her story because I think she's a real genuine person. For her to create something for the kids, that's real big to do. She could have took her money and did something else with it. You know what I'm saying? So this is important, and everybody, all my Durham people, man, Raleigh, and all the surrounding areas. This is for y'all. It's for you guys. And as you can see, we on the shoe store side. So ladies, if y'all in Durham, y'all can come on down. But we asking everybody come down here right now as we speak and bring a toy. This is for the toy drive. We wanted to go live to let y'all know that it was real, that it's not a game. We're not playing. So I want to hear it from the lady herself, man. So give them a little bit about yourself, man. What makes Shea tick, man?
Oh, wow. Let me start back from the beginning. Where you want me to start?
Well, you can start. All right. When I met you, I had a studio. What was you doing back then? What that was? 1999?
Oh, my gosh. About 2000.
2000.
Yeah.
You was doing the shoe store already?
Mm-hmm. So I had, I came to North Carolina Central University for college.
Right.
And I started working in shoes. I love shoes. I love fashion.
Right.
Growing up, I didn't wear heels per se, but I dressed up every day. Mm-hmm. And I was a sneakerhead, which is kind of weird, but I had all the Jordans.
Why would it be weird?
Because I don't do sneakers now, so it's like, you was a sneakerhead?
Oh,
so it's like
okay.
I was like a sneakerhead, but I still, I love fashion. I've always loved fashion.
Right.
But I've always loved shoes. Mm-hmm. And when I was in school at Central, I was managing a store called Precy. It was in Northgate.
Right.
And I worked at Rack Room. I worked at Nine with several other shoe stores. But at Precy, it was a very upscale shoe store, and we wore all black. And the accessories in the store were big gold lions and just nice accessories.
Right.
So it was a very upscale store, and everybody that came to work, you always could tell the employees because they wore black, and everybody was just distinguished and just looked good and was just classy and just sexy and was just popping.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I want to open up my own shoe store, and at the time, I took classes, I did workshops, I was working on my business plan while I was still at Central and while I was managing the shoe store.
Right.
And for me, my thing is that I like to go into places to get the experience.
Right.
And then take the knowledge and then turn around and do my own thing. I don't do good working for people because they just don't know how to treat people that are leaders. I'm really big on customer service. I individually love people. My customers are like family. They become family to me.
Max.
And when you're in big sales and big retail companies, they're about $1, and I understand that the person's about $1, but for me, it's customer service. Mm-hmm. It's customer service and it's the employees for me.
Right.
So I took all of that from managing Precy, and I said I want to open up my own shoe store. So before I opened up the shoe store, I would order the shoes wholesale, and then I would go around to the different barbershops and beauty salons with my kids in tow.
Right.
My kids was in tow.
Right.
And
Wow.
I would take my kids and we would go around and I would hustle my shoes on the street,
Wow.
like flea markets and shoe stores. So everybody knew, like, here come Shay, she got some hot shoes. So that's how I started that shoe store.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I know I want a brick and mortar, but I gotta hustle these shoes. So like literally, like I was a shoe dealer. Like I'm selling the stilettos, like for real.
So where are you originally from?
I'm from Greensboro.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I
Now
came
it
here in
makes
'91
Okay.
to attend North Carolina Central, the illustrious North Carolina Central University, and didn't want to go to A&T. Graduated from Dudley. So yeah. I
What
came
was your
from
major?
Public administration. So I have an
administration.
undergrad in public administration. I have a master's in entertainment business.
Okay. So, you ran for mayor here in Durham.
I did. I ran for mayor in 2017. That was like really, really huge for me. For one, I'm really big on the violence. I believe with the youth that with anyone, but more so with the youth, we can curb and cut down violence
Right.
a couple of different ways. And one of the ways for me is that, you know, a lot of times we focus on sports and those type of things, but for me it is about the gifts and talents
Right.
and purposes that you were born with.
Right.
Because
right.
me and you have different purposes and different gifts, right? God
Right.
gave you a gift, he gave me a gift. We don't have the same gift.
Right.
But if you have a place for these kids to come and nurture their gift,
Right.
right? Then they are less focused on doing the bad thing or the wrong thing, and they're focused on their purpose and they're doing the right thing.
Right. Facts.
So that was the whole purpose in me always wanting to have a center for people to come and empower them and teach them self-esteem and confidence through their gifts. I think that's very important. I grew up bullied as a kid all through K through 12. And coming to Central, I had low self-esteem. I didn't like myself. People like, not you. I'm like,
Right. Really. For real.
yeah, I had scoliosis. I had a back brace
Right.
because I didn't want to have surgery. I had buck teeth.
Did you go and get the surgery?
No, I had to wear the back brace.
You had to wear it.
Yeah, it was a metal back brace.
But it took care of the problem.
It did, but I got picked on with it because when I put it on, my clothes would sink in, so you could actually see the shape
See
of the back brace.
Yeah, I've seen someone with that
So,
before.
I got picked on really, really bad because of
Right.
that. So at the time, I had a metal back brace, I had buck teeth, I had braces, and I had a headgear. You know what a headgear
Right.
is?
No. What's the headgear?
Oh my God! So a headgear, it's a wire that goes around your face,
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
and you have to, and it's a key. You turn it. I used to have
Right.
to turn it, tighten up to push my teeth back in my mouth.
Word. Wow.
So I had all that going on.
I didn't know. I've seen that before. I never knew that's what that was actually for. I thought somebody had like a head trauma or something. Wow.
That was for
That's crazy. That's
yeah.
deep.
So I had so yeah, so I had to I didn't like myself. I had low self-esteem, didn't have no confidence. I always could dress, so I always got best dressed, but I wasn't the cutest thing.
Right.
So I had to work to get to this point.
Right.
And I went to Central and I was like, you know what, I gotta figure out something. Like, I gotta figure out how to like and love myself, because
Right.
the things that people were saying about me, I'm like, I'm not those things, but at the same time, I'm like, well, dang, well, maybe I am ugly and maybe I'm this. So I started to consume
Started to
believe. Believe those things. And, you know, it was really, really tough. So I got into modeling.
Right.
I've always been skinny. I always could dress. I always loved fashion. I got into modeling. When I got into modeling,
Yes.
that was it right there. I'm like,
Yes. Yes.
oh, she here.
Yes. Yeah.
She here, baby.
Right. Big
So that's
facts.
all I needed was
Right.
that, and it just changed me as a person, like my self-esteem, my confidence. You know, just, you know, on a whim, talking, cracking jokes, just being me. My personality came out. I didn't know who Shay was until that moment.
Right.
So the whole purpose for me was I wanted to be able to create something for individuals like myself that had experienced the same thing I experienced, being bullied in whatever type of way,
Right.
to have a place, a safe place, to be able to come and pursue their gifts and dreams through their purposes. But while doing that, building self-esteem and confidence. Because if
Right.
you don't have self-esteem and confidence, you can't do nothing. It's not
That's
even
a
about
fact.
your gifts or your talents. It is, but it's not. The whole thing is that you need self-esteem and confidence to get up and make it through the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
We all go through stuff, and if you don't have strong enough confidence and self-esteem, it's going to be hard for you to make it from day to day.
Right.
So I think that's very important, and I will always push that because that's what got me through, and that's very important to
Well,
me.
I'll give you thumbs up for that, because just to snap out of that like that and bounce back and find a craft that really showed you the bounce back.
It wasn't easy.
I
It
know.
wasn't easy.
That's
It was a
why. That's why I'm
process.
saying it's thumbs up to that.
Yeah.
But you know what? God though.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
God put that
Yeah.
up and instilled that in you.
Yeah.
Because He didn't want you. You know, He know what type of person you are, and He didn't want you feeling like that. So you know that was a blessing right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, make y'all go to my Facebook. Y'all get to see this live. Bernard Riggin with an S on the end, Riggins. Y'all get to see it live on the cameras right now. But so tell me what give them a little bit of what you got going on in the center for the kids.
So what I have, what the mission is, Shabella. First of all, let me explain to you what Shabella means.
Okay.
S is for she, so I have different compartments. But when I first started the business within itself, when I first started the shoe store, pretty much, I always loved RuPaul.
You love RuPaul.
I've always
No doubt.
loved RuPaul.
Right.
And he would always say sachet, Shantae, and I was
Oh yeah,
like,
I remember that.
oh, I like that. Sachet. Okay. So the shoe store,
It's
sachet,
That's
right?
what's
So
up.
I put a little twist on it, and I did Sa and then my name, Shea. So that's why I came up with that name. But as I evolved and sold the shoe store and then went back to corporate, was, oh my God, was not a good thing, but it was a good thing. I ended up managing the Jimmy Jazz stores here.
Yeah. Okay.
I opened up the one in Northgate, managed the
I
one in
remember that
Cary, managed Men Alive, trained them, went to Greensboro, so I did a lot of training and opening up Jimmy Jazz stores.
Right.
And after working for Jimmy for a long time and them not being appreciative, I was at Northgate when I opened up the Jimmy Jazz. I was at Northgate. And they didn't need me anymore. So I like literally flipped the script on them because I'm just like, you got to be kidding me. I'm in here working like a slave and
After you put in all the work and structure and
scrubbing
shape.
gum off the floor, people stealing shoes. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm employees cutting up. I'm just doing whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Doing
Customer
their dirty work
service.
for them.
Oh Lord, yeah, customer service was on fleek. Back room was good. Taking care of the employees. I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. So back to being self-employed again.
Right.
And I had a customer came in and she was like, you want to learn how to do taxes? And I was like, oh no, like, dang, I have a degree, but I ain't like accounting in school. Like, I ain't do good in accounting. I don't know if I want to do no taxes.
Right.
But it was a different type of taxes, right?
Okay.
Accounting and tax preparer is two different things. It's the same if you go into the prep and payroll part of it,
Right.
loss and profits and that type of thing. But it was just starting out just being a tax preparer, certified tax preparer.
Right.
And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. So got back into entrepreneurship again. So I worked for them for one tax season. I was like, I can't work for nobody here. I go again. I'm like, this ain't gonna work for me. Like, I gotta open up my own thing.
Right. Right.
So I worked for them literally that one tax season, and 2 months after tax season ended, I was at Northgate and with my own space. I'm like, I
Right.
can't do this right
Right.
here. So I took what I learned and opened up my own joint.
Right. I
Okay,
know
all right.
that was a kick in their
Yeah, that's-
butt when they
yeah,
seen
I
that.
ain't got time. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So, and it worked out perfect because I was already at Northgate. And so I left Jimmy Jazz and, got my space at Northgate. And while I was there, I'm like, you know what? This is an opportune time for me to start my modeling academy. So I started the modeling academy. I didn't have a space for the modeling academy. I just had my small tax office at Northgate in the business center.
Right.
On the side where Ruby Tuesdays was at. So they had a community room, which you could rent it out. So I rented it out once a month, or every Saturday of the month.
Right.
And I started my modeling school.
Wow. That's
So
big.
when I started the modeling school, I'm like, okay, I want to start a school to teach them, hair care, nail care, skin care, confidence, self-esteem. So I broke it down into an academy. And I ended up, I got to come up with a name. So I was like, okay, let me get, what should I call it? Back to S's again. So the S is for she, the H is for he. Bella means beauty in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
So my mantra was where everyone is beautiful. I believe everyone is beautiful. So when I started the agency, I didn't have, any requirements. With most agencies, I went to John Casablanca, and you have several other ones, is that you have to look a certain way. They have certain requirements that back then, you just couldn't be a model. They didn't have plus size models back then. They had a certain look that agencies was looking for, and if you didn't fit it, you couldn't model.
What about height? I know
Oh
it's a
yeah,
big thing
yeah,
about height
yeah.
also.
So if you wasn't a certain height, if you wasn't a certain look, sometimes it was gender, sometimes it was color. You know what I'm saying? The agencies back then, it's like they had a look that they were going for, and if you didn't fit that model, you couldn't do it. But from my agency, everyone was welcome. Right?
That's
So
what's
I
up.
work with a lot of young people that are grown right now that are they were plus size models.
Right.
They were bullied and picked on. And it's just like they are totally different when they came to me.
And
So
see,
I always
that's
tell
good.
the parents, when your child comes to me, when they leave, they're not gonna be the same
They're
person.
gonna be different.
They're gonna be
That's
different.
what I was about to say. See,
They're gonna
that's,
be different.
that's good. You took your negative and turned it to a positive.
Yeah, I didn't
to
allow
help
my
some
story
other-
to break me. I
Right.
allowed it to make me.
Right.
While making me, it's making other people.
And helping other people,
Yeah.
other people's kids.
Yeah.
That's the beauty and the blessings of that, man. Because a lot of kids, that bullying thing is serious.
It's very serious, and I think it's even worse now. Growing up, when we were growing up, it's like I didn't really know of anybody that committed suicide. I didn't never want to kill myself, but I was very depressed. I
Right.
didn't like myself.
Right.
But I knew I had to figure out some type of way for me to fix the issue I was having with myself.
Right.
And modeling did it for me, and as of right now, for me it's my fashion. So I'm going through a whole lot of things right now. The last 2 years has been very rough for me.
Right.
Creating this space, putting this space together, spending the money, and just coming in and having a vision and seeing the vision through has been a whole nother level of new devil. That's what they say.
Right. That's a fact.
So for me, getting through the last 2 years, COVID and a divorce, and trying to get this building open up and Northgate putting us out,
Right.
I have gotten through and sustained with my fashion. God and stilettos what gets
Right.
me through.
And that's
So,
what's up.
yeah.
I was about to say that's another blessing from God that that you are put here to help the kids. So you teach walking classes as well, right?
Yep. So with the agency, the agency has evolved. It evolved from an academy. So we did the classes, and then we did fashion shows, and we done some of everything. So I work with some of everybody that you can think of. And most everybody's doing so very well. But yeah, so it started out just an academy, and then when I went to school, I went to Full Sail. I wanted to do more than just modeling, because I realized, this is Durham, and this is not New York.
Right.
So this is not the fashion capital of the world, and everybody don't want to model. Just because you want to model, Shea, and you take it serious,
Right.
doesn't mean everybody else does. And I noticed around here, people like to model, but they did it for fun. If you come to my agency, if you come around me, I'm gonna teach you for real.
Right.
Like, I'm a professional.
Right.
So that way you can go into New York Fashion Week, Charlotte Fashion Week, which I've had several models that have went to all of them, and they already know you came from Sasha, you came from Shabella, because they know the importance of making sure that it's right, making sure that you're a professional, making sure you got your headshots, and all those things matter to me. I don't take this as play, because this was my life.
Right.
This changed me as a person, so this is serious. This
So
is
you
not
know
fun
what
and
it can
games
do
to
for
me.
somebody else.
Yeah,
if
and
you
if you're
give them
serious,
that jewel. Yes.
And went to Full Sail, and I decided, I'm like, you know what? I want to do more. So at that moment, I'm like, I want to open up a recording studio. Didn't know nothing about no music other than I love music.
So you're the first woman in Durham to have a recording studio.
Yep. Far as I know, I'm the first one in North Carolina.
Okay, let's say that then. Let's say North Carolina. That's a
State of the Arts recording studio.
So y'all,
Alex, Bull City Sound.
Alex Bull City Sounds,
Yeah.
but he's not a woman.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, pay attention to the message, brother. My brother. We making history over here. This is a historical interview right here, man. You can't mess with this one, though, baby boy. Y'all make sure y'all come down here. We down here right now, live in the Shabella Shoe Store, in the Shabella Recreational Center. Y'all come down here and drop a toy off for the kids, man. Drop a toy, man. So, what made you want to open up a studio?
You know, that was a whole nother beast.
You're not even a rapper or a singer.
I'm not. But you know what? I love music. And growing up, I was in the Black Child Choir Development. Went to D.C., sung at the White House.
Okay.
I was in vocal
So
ensemble
you
in
is a
high
singer
school.
then.
I was in vocal ensemble in high school. I was in the gospel choir in high school.
Right.
So I've always loved the arts, and I love music, period.
Right.
I love all type of music.
Facts.
Gospel, you know, rap. I mean, I'm very well rounded when it comes to entertainment. I love the Migos.
Right.
Like I want to do that. Yeah, that TikTok. I got
TikTok.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
I can't wait to see this one. I'll
But-
be waiting for that TikTok.
Oh my gosh. I love Lil Baby.
Right.
Like, I
You're
mean,
versatile. You can switch it up.
yeah,
when you
like
want
it's
to,
like,
whatever
but
mood you're in
it's
at the
because
time.
it's talent, right?
Right.
These people are
Facts.
using their gifts.
Right.
I can't rap,
Right.
but they can. That's
Right.
their gift. And
Right.
for me, I guess the excitement is that God created each and every one of us individually and unique and special. Each and every one of us has gifts and talents, and it's just amazing to see people, you know, live out their dreams. That's the part that I love. I think the
Right.
most.
Right.
And I realized that, you know, everybody doesn't want to model, everybody doesn't want to act, and we have a lot of individuals, young people, that have gifts. They can sing, they can rap, you know what I'm saying? They can
That's
do
a fact.
poetry. So I wanted to have a studio as a platform, a professional setting, you know, not just some, you know, hole in the wall studio. When I do stuff, I like to do stuff on a certain level. Nothing against anybody else, right?
Right, no
But
doubt.
this is just speaking on how I like to do
That's
stuff.
a fact.
And I wanted
that's
to
what
make
this interview
sure,
about how you like to do
yeah,
stuff.
I wanted to make sure that if people come to my studio, that they have a professional setting. That, you know, again, this is not for play.
I
So,
fell asleep in that studio.
you know what I'm saying? So it's professional. So
Yes.
anything I do, I like it to be professional.
Right.
Classy, elegant, sexy. Ain't playing no games.
And that's what
Okay,
that is.
all right.
Right.
So that's why I decided to do it. And my ex-husband was like, why you open up a studio? Like, you don't even know nothing about music. And I'm like, I want a studio. I want a studio. So when I put my mind to something, it ain't no deviating from
That's
that.
how
I'm
I
just
am.
like, this is what I
Facts.
want. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes,
I have a
I'm locked
purpose
in.
behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know it's going to be a lot of work. No, I don't know, you know, really people. I don't have the connections. And the other hard part was, I would say that, you know, reaching out to individuals, telling them about the studio and trying to break into the music industry as a woman is very difficult when you're trying to open up a studio.
Right.
It's very difficult. It's like a small knitted community that they don't want to let you in. I'm just
Right.
being honest with you.
Right.
It's hard. I don't know why it's like that, but you know, everybody I reached out to, it's like, you know, Shea, you got to make your own connections. I mean, pretty much, they wasn't gonna help me. So I'm like, wow. So you know, I had to do some research, and you know, and then I called Skaz, and Skaz has pretty much been with me through the whole way with this. With
Right.
this, nobody else really helped me.
Right.
Because everybody else I reached out to, they just wouldn't. Which I'm just like, dang, like it's like that.
You know, it's so sad that
Like, it's
North
crazy.
Carolina as a whole, they don't like to help each other
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
down here, and I can't understand it neither. And everybody want to be the first to do something,
Yeah.
or they want to be the biggest at doing something.
Yeah.
When it's enough room and enough money for everybody, I don't understand it. Other thing I could say, like some of the artists that do go to these other studios. Some of them are just used to going to the studios because they are comfortable with working with an engineer that they're comfortable with, that know their sound and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's one thing. The second thing is a lot of people from here don't want to invest in their own craft. They want you to give you. They want you to give them.
It does, and it doesn't. Anything worth having, you got to work for it.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's a process, and it just doesn't happen. People want it to happen. It don't happen overnight.
Right.
I didn't get to this point overnight. It took a lot of struggles and sacrifices for me to get to this point.
That's right.
And I'm still going through stuff. I've been in this thing for a minute now.
Right. We're going to get to some of that in a hot second.
So.
But I definitely, excuse me.
Oh, so DreamZ, the reason why I came up with DreamZ
Right.
is the studio. I was like, okay, well, I got to call a name. What am I going to call it? I ain't have no S this time. I ain't have no S to it. I was like, okay, I done used S for Shabella and Sasha.
Right.
So I'm like, I believe in people's gifts, purposes, and dreams.
Right.
So I'm like, I want to call it DreamZ.
That's hard.
And put a little twist on it, put a Z on the end.
That's hard.
And my mantra is turning your dreams into reality. If you dream it, you put the work in, it could be reality.
It will be reality.
So it's real simple logic, right? But
that's
you
a
gotta apply it.
But that's a fact.
And a lot of times we don't want to apply it.
That'd be the problem. They don't want to. If they actually, come, use the studio, and I might still make a price cheaper.
Yeah.
Than what the other studios is charging.
Exactly.
They still want to go cheap. Want to try to jew me down to go cheaper than that.
It's crazy.
And I'm
You
like,
get what you pay for,
like,
you know?
Yeah, I'm like, wow. So it reminded me of you was like, man, they don't want to spend no money around here.
No, they don't.
And I'm like, and then when I'm talking to some guys about it, and then they start that, the first thing that pops in my head, like, what's going on in Durham? But
It's
I gave them a
ridiculous.
break right now because it's Christmas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but we're going to go full-fledged. Y'all be ready, Bull City. All my artists that's out there that's been always asking about the studio and all that, you got to invest in yourself, man. Spend a couple dollars, and then you never know what that $50 might take you to be a $50 million man, because you might come in and make a hit. You know, and space it out. I know, everybody don't got money. It's rough out here now, but you still got to take some type of time and invest in your craft.
You have to.
And I'm going to put some more flyers out and invite everybody down here to the studio to come and witness and see it and give you another chance to hear yourself. We did good with the Hot 16. I'm going to do it once a month. But this studio is a must-see. And you know what else I thought about?
What's up?
When we do the studio blocks, guess what she has in here also? A kitchen. Y'all do a studio block, people that really invest in themselves, y'all add a couple of dollars in there. I got a chef that'll cook up some good food for y'all while y'all in there working. Just just add a couple more dollars. He'll go buy your food. And
It's very
he'll
homey
prep
and
it,
relaxing,
and you're
so
gonna be
it's like-
relaxed where you can make hits.
Yeah. I wanted this whole building to be very
Crafty.
loving and just connected, and then when people are in here and people are working in their gifts, the feeling is amazing.
Right.
It's like the artsy. It's just I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? But
But
it's
I
just very.
witnessed it firsthand. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
glad
energy
you gotta
just
tell it
the
to the
energy
people.
just there. Like I
Yes.
can't. The vibe is just there. It's just I can't explain it. You know what I'm saying? The
Same.
vibe is there. The energy's there, and it's like everybody is in sync and everybody's connected. And I don't have drama here. I do events here. I've had hundreds and hundreds of us here, and just having a good time. Like
right.
no negative,
Right.
no negative vibes. Like I don't play that. Like anybody that knows me knows if you come around me, I don't got time for the foolishness. Like don't come up here acting crazy. Act like you got some sense. Let's have a good time. We could be lit. Let's wild out positively.
Quick
And that's
story.
what it's all about.
I got a real Dream Studio story. So, y'all know the rapper Moray from Fayetteville. Got the big song, big hit. I calls him up and I tell him, I'm like, my homegirl got a studio and she wanted me to come work with her. I'm gonna start working with her. I need you to come down and check it out. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna come through and check it out. He gets down here. Soon as he walks in the building, first thing he says was, whoa, this joint hard. I introduced her to him. I even told her that he's coming through. She was like, oh, I like him. Oh, what? I said,
Quicksand.
so yep, the quicksand song. So when he get here, he loved the spot. He was so comfortable. He was just coming to look at the spot. He ended up staying and created a big hit in here. And actually, while he's here, he make this his home when he come and work. So that's how comfortable it is. Y'all need to come through and check it out. It's to all my artists, rap, singers. If you're a comedian and you want to do something, you can come and, put your comedian, your little comedy show down for people to hear it on Apple Music and stuff like that. People could ride. So we got something for y'all.
Yep.
Oh, we
Y'all
got the podcast. That's
podcast
right.
area. If you have a podcast, you want to start your podcast, dance classes.
What about the sewing?
So that's the community service room. So basically, I guess I'll explain what's all in the building, because when people drive
Right.
by, they don't realize
What's
everything
in
that's
here.
in the building. You
Right.
can't really see the building.
Right.
And people are like, this is all you? And I'm like, yeah. So what you see is the trophies at the windows.
Right.
But I have 6 businesses in here, which are all mine. So I rent the venue out for private events. So if you are looking for a space to have a birthday party, a sweet 16, a 30th birthday party, a 60th birthday party, a brunch, a day party, a evening party, whatever you can think of and create, it can happen here. Its
Right.
transformation is sick, because it looks one way, but when you put it together, it's a whole nother atmosphere.
You know what I call this?
the
It's
vibe.
a mini Tyler Perry Studios. You can do many things in here.
Yeah,
And that's a blessing. And it's owned by a black American woman. I'm proud to even say that. One thing it is, man, we got to support our women. And one of the cats up here just said, my boy Overwin, he said another issue is some artists don't want to work jobs to get the cash up towards their
You
studio
gotta do what you
time.
gotta do.
Like, yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta
you know?
go, yeah, you gotta work. How we gonna help y'all if you don't help yourself?
You're right.
Y'all come invest in us, we gonna invest back in y'all. Not only want,
We can't want it more than, you know what I'm saying, that
them,
individual
yeah,
wants it. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? You gotta want it, and then if you want it, then we're here to be able to support, you know what I'm
Right,
saying, the
facts.
want and the need and the dream. But it gotta start with the individual. It just has to, you know?
well, one thing I could say about what you was just saying a minute ago, when you was first building it and trying to find the connections, and I've seen you give certain people chances to come work with you, and I don't know the outcome. They not here now, but I mean the outcome wasn't a good one. But you got to connect now. You got Bootsie, and another thing, what we're gonna offer to you guys is, I can get your stuff on BET, Revolt. Y'all got some hits. I got the inside connects for that. You might have to do a little investment, but we're not gonna be charging nothing what everybody be trying to $5,000 and $10,000 just to get on BET. People charge that. You know, we're not doing that. I get you write-ups in Hip Hop Weekly. I can get you interviews with big labels. I work with Empire, which is the biggest distribution on the planet right now. They distributing everybody. With my boy Wile Coyote through Otis Records. And so we got, as far as whatever you need, we got videos. We'll do your green screen video. We do them $100. If you want to take it to the next level, then we'll discuss more money. You can come here, you can do everything here. We got your graphic designs. We can do your flyers and your posters, whatever needed. We got it all right here. So your merchandise. You see the store, the shoe store. If you need something ordered, we'll get the merchandise for
Tax
you.
time coming up. So what's in the building? So I have the event space. So
Right.
like I said, I rent the venue out for private events.
Right.
I have the talent agency. The talent agency consists of private modeling classes, acting, workshops, self-care workshops. So it's more to it than just modeling. It's self-care
Right.
and self-esteem and confidence, period. I've done a couple of different things this year.
You send
with-
them on. You send them to get jobs as well. Like you make the connections with that for the models and stuff.
So I am. I'm an agent also.
Right. Exactly.
But again, with that, you know, I get jobs in every day. But what I've learned with the agency piece is that people, again, they don't want to invest. They don't want to invest a little bit of time or the little bit of money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, it's like you have to invest, because if you say that you're going to audition for a gig and you don't show up, they're gonna blacklist you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's all how you work the industry.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
But
fact.
I don't want to look bad, and I don't want you looking bad. So if you know you can't commit to something, then
Yeah, because
don't
they
sign
still,
up for it.
They representing you once you send them out there.
Exactly. And then
Right.
I always tell people, sometimes, you're going to be doing gigs and different things, and you're not going to get paid for it. But you can put it on your resume.
That's a
right?
fact.
So every time you get money, that's not always the case. Sometimes no money is just as good, because they might comp you with food, gas, and you're going to get a reel or
Right.
a copy of your project that you did.
Right.
You could put that on your resume,
Right.
which that could turn into a whole nother big, you know what I'm saying, bigger gig for you. You just never know, right? And I tell people a lot of times too, in this industry, the entertainment industry, you're going to get a lot of no's
Yeah.
and
that's a
very
fact.
few yeses.
I heard that.
But you got to keep going, because you don't never know when that yes going to come.
That's a fact. Never get discouraged. That goes in anything you do.
But again, that goes back to what? Self-esteem and confidence. Because
Yeah.
you got to have the self-esteem and confidence to even audition.
Right.
To even have the courage, like, you know what? I didn't get this time. I'm going to go back next time. If you don't have the self-esteem and confidence, that one no can shy you away from going next time, because you're like, you know what? I just can't do it. I don't have the confidence. I'm not ready. I'm not built for this.
Right.
But if you building up your self-esteem and confidence through your gift, you see what I'm saying?
Facts. I totally understand.
Through your gift, then it's going to push you to go to that next audition. It's going to push you to do that next album,
Right.
that next song, that next single. You know what I'm saying? Because just because it wasn't a hit this time don't mean it ain't going to be no hit next time. But
That's
you
a
got to
fact.
have the self-esteem and confidence to keep going,
That's a fact.
in spite of what somebody might think or say or feel about you.
If you
That's
don't,
how I
it's,
move,
it's
like-
called consistency.
Yes, consistency is very important.
That's very important.
It's very important. Like, it's huge.
In the music world, it took some records. It took them 2 years just to blow
Oh, yeah.
up.
Yeah.
But they stay
It's
consistently working.
it's a process. You just don't happen like that.
That's a fact.
Nothing happens like that.
Nothing. Sometimes it does, but it's very seldom.
Really rare. Yeah, it's
Some people get lucky and hit the jackpot.
Yeah, but that's not the norm.
That's not
you
the
know?
norm. The norm is hard
You-
work,
exactly.
consistency, staying focused, and don't let nobody
Yeah.
ever tell you that
Crying,
you can't do it.
upset, stressed, and
Right.
worrying. But you still, through all of that, you still got to have the confidence and self-esteem to say, you know what, I'm going to try it again. Even though I don't like the outcome, even though I'm mad and I'm stressed out and I'm depressed and I don't like, how this is going, I'm going to try it again.
That's how I am. I can't stop. When my mind focused on something, I'm going at it. And I
Yeah.
don't care if it ain't working right now, I'm going to figure out another way to make it work.
Exactly.
Just like with this podcast thing. I told you how we started off with low numbers, and our numbers is soaring now.
Yeah.
But it's the work that me and my team is putting
It's the
in.
process. It's the start.
Yes.
Right?
that's
You
a
got to
fact.
start.
That's
And
a
then, because
fact.
you won't know how it's going to end up unless you
That's a fact.
start, right?
That's a fact. We wake
So
up
like,
every day.
I'm going to wait to this time. What time? Because
No.
it's never going to be a right time.
Exactly.
It ain't never going to be a right
At
time. So you
all.
might as well go ahead on and just go and start the thing.
Keep on rolling.
And then keep going.
Somebody told me that the other day. Said, "Man, yeah, my homeboy Cash from the Money and Violence series, Q." I was telling you when I was talking to him the other day. He was like, "Man, I'm just gonna do a podcast too." He said, "But I'm trying to figure out what day I wanted to start it." I'm like, "Man, you got to start it now. You can't be
Exactly.
sitting back waiting for it."
Exactly.
I met with Jax. We've been to each other, my producer, and when I went to talk to him, that's how this came about. I said, "Yo, I want to do a podcast." He was like, "What? When you ready?" I told him when I was ready. We set the date up, and it was boom. Only thing that held this podcast back, COVID hit in, and the studio
Gotcha.
he was working at, they lost the studio. But once we figured out our rotation, how we wanted to get back into it, we ain't stopped yet. And this about to be one of the biggest podcasts
Yeah.
out. And we're going to be hitting y'all on some lives a couple of times in the shoe store, in this community center, so y'all can understand y'all need to come down here, support. And don't forget, we here live right now. We doing the toy drive. Y'all come through and bring some toys, drop them off. But, yeah, so what about cooking classes in here? Did I hear you say something about that?
Yeah, so I keep getting sidetracked, but it's trying to tell everybody what's all in the building.
Right.
So the talent agency, the event space, it's 4 state-of-the-art recording studios,
Right.
podcast area for anyone that is starting a podcast, and that's one side of the building. On the other side of the building, in the back of the building, it was a little break room. This is the old Blockbusters, actually.
Right.
It's set for 20 years, so
Right.
it was
I remember
none
that.
of this was in here.
When I was living across
They
the
were
street,
squatting.
we used
People
to
were
walk
squatting
over
in here.
here.
They were squatting in here.
Really? Wow.
They were squatting in here. It was.
So
yeah,
this
they
was
were squatting.
basically looking like an old basement.
What? It was
wow.
looking a mess. I got pictures.
We're gonna show y'all a little bit of pictures.
I got pictures.
The edited version will be up, so don't worry, man.
Yeah.
See, now that's what you call accomplishments, and somebody that's striving to do something. This I hope that y'all taking notes from this, man, because it's real. That's real serious, man, and it's by a black woman. I love saying that, man. And the black woman with the first studio, man. I don't even know a woman that owns a studio. I'm sure it's some somewhere, but in North Carolina, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
So
bragging.
the kitchen. So it used to be the break room.
Yes.
I turned it into a commercial kitchen. And one of the purposes of that was, of course, I wanted to have it. If somebody rents out the space, if they need the kitchen access, they have that. But also too, I meet young men and women all the time that their gift is not entertainment. They can cook, right?
Right.
And it was a story several years ago. I can't remember the young man's name, but it was a young man, and he said cooking saved him from going to prison because he had gotten into some trouble, and he started cooking. And I think he has his own restaurant now. But again, that's somebody's gift. And if I have a young person that comes in and says, Miss Shea, I know how to cook. I want to take some cooking classes. So I want to cook. It would be amazing to have some chefs that come in from the city,
Yes.
teaching them cooking classes. And while
Yes.
they doing the cooking classes, they could be doing a podcast or
Yes,
videoing
that's a
them.
fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a fact.
again, that's building their self-esteem and confidence,
Right.
right? And they are not focused on street life. They focus on their purpose and their gift. But if they ask for it, they need it. You got to build it and make it accessible.
Right.
And that's exactly what I did. I can't tell them I want to help them and I don't have the tools and equipment they need.
Right.
Because if I say I can help you, and if I don't have what they need, you can't help them. You can't help the kids. You can't
Right.
help them.
That's a fact.
And then I have a community service room in the back. That's the computer room and the sewing machines. So the whole purpose of the sewing machines is I've worked with several emerging designers in the past that have entered their fashion line in Charlotte, New York, Atlanta Fashion Week.
Right.
And the purpose of the sewing machines is, again, I have individuals that don't want to model, don't want to sing, don't want to dance, don't want to act. They want to be a fashion designer.
Right.
So, of course, they have to use the models in order to, create the clothing. They need the models, as a model to create their clothing line, their
Right.
samples. But I was thinking, if I have the sewing machines, they can start creating their lines,
That's
and they
dope.
can enter their lines into these fashion weeks as
Right.
emerging designers, so that way they can get out there.
Right.
You could be 14, 15, 12-year-old creating your clothing line. And again, you're building, right, your
Right.
self-esteem and confidence, because when you get 20 and 22, you can be just like all these other designers.
Right.
But
Facts.
but again, it's like you have to be able to see this. You have to be able to see yourself in that realm.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't, because we don't have a plan.
Right.
But if I have it already laid out, all you got to do is come in and bring your talent and your gift in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
already
And
got
work
all the
it out.
tools for them.
And then let's take it in and enter into these shows.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And before you know it, your designs is in front of
Macy's.
Beyonce's and
Yeah.
Macy's and all the people that it needs to be in
Right.
front of.
Facts. And guess what? We can get y'all work in front of, them big names and big faces. Y'all just come down here and sign up. Come and bring your craft, and let's come create some stuff, and let's see what we can get out of this. Let me see. I want to walk in here and see one of y'all young cats with that designed a shirt, a hat, or something, and I could take it and go brag about
Shirt,
it.
head, shoes. I mean, it's a lot. You have a lot of young people that can draw. I'm like, if you can draw, you can create your own clothing line.
Facts.
You making another clothing line rich, where you can, you know what I'm saying, make your
Facts.
own clothing line and make yourself rich. But people don't. it's like if people not telling you that, you ain't thinking like,
Right.
I can't do that. Like, I can't do that. Why can't you? They did it.
Right.
They had to start somewhere.
Facts. That's a fact.
And a lot of times they didn't have the means to be able to do it. They didn't have a community center with sewing machines already there.
Right.
You know what I'm
They
saying?
in a
They
basement
didn't have the
for real.
money to go buy one, so they, you know what I'm saying? They had to, you know, figure it out and piece it together.
Right.
I actually already have everything prepared for you. You just gotta
Right.
come in and do your part. You know what I'm saying? It's already done.
Right.
I already did it. I already did the hard part.
Right. That's a fact.
So it's like, come on, people. Like, what are y'all doing?
Y'all gotta tighten up. See, a lot of people like to see other people do it and wonder why they're not there. Because you won't get up and go and do what you need to do
Yeah.
with something simple. All right. Sometimes you'll have the means to do it even in your own house.
Yep.
And you won't even do it. But you'll keep saying, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I know a lot of people that's like
we
that.
all procrastinate, but you know what I'm
Right.
saying. But you still have to attempt.
You gotta put that foot down,
You
say
know what
I'm
I'm saying?
gonna do
You
it.
have to attempt
That's a
to
fact.
take some type of effort. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And attempt to get out there and you know what I'm saying? If you know that this is what you want to do, we can make up every excuse in the book as to why we can't do it. But you at some point you gotta be like, you know what? I'm gonna try. You know, it's like I tell you people, at least you gotta attempt, at least try. And if you at least try and attempt, people will see that effort in you and they'll be willing to work with you. But you gotta at least attempt, at least try.
That's a
Come
fact.
on.
And like you said, nothing happens overnight.
Nothing.
Stay at it. Stay at it. Gotta stay at it, people.
Consistency
That's a
is
fact.
definitely the key. And then the tax office,
You need your taxes done, come down.
yeah. So, and that's the crazy part, because like when I was telling you about when I left Jimmy Jazz and I started opening my own tax office, and I've been doing taxes for 12 years.
Right. Wow.
I'm a certified tax preparer.
Wow.
So I do 1099s. I started businesses. So I'm just like, I used to hate accounting.
Right.
I had changed my major because I couldn't stand accounting. But I love doing taxes.
Right.
And I know what I'm doing.
Right. That's what's up. See, God bless you with something else that you ain't even know.
Yeah.
Once you put your foot into it.
Yeah.
you
So
put-
again,
step
you
all
know,
the way in it.
financial literacy.
That's big.
We need that. We need financial literacy
Right.
because a lot of times our people, we don't have financial literacy.
Right.
This was several years ago, but a major rap group that's really not together anymore in Durham, they had just signed a big deal, and 83 Babies.
83 babies.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they used to come to the studio in North Carolina all the time.
Right.
And you know, I would talk to them, and they would listen.
Right. That's
It'd be
what's
several of them, like
Right.
several of them from their hood. They would listen.
up. Right.
And you know, I'm like, what's up with what's up with y'all taxes? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you know, Miss Shea, you know, we ain't really doing our taxes. We don't know. Can you help us?
Right.
So I'm explaining them the importance of, okay, you got this big deal you done signed,
Right.
right? You got to make sure that your taxes on point because you got a lot of artists and actors and actresses that have been to jail or been to prison
Yep.
because
Nobody told them and
they,
told them.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't even realize, was it Fat Joe?
Fat Joe.
Yeah, he
Fat
said that
Joe.
I guess his financial advisor was taking his money. He thought that he was paying his taxes. He was,
Right.
I guess, cutting him a check.
Right.
And they wasn't doing it.
It was somebody else too.
It's a lot of people.
Master P went through it.
Yep, it's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So again, you can't trust everybody with that. If
Right.
somebody's doing your taxes, they got your pertinent information. They got your social. They got your address. They got your first and last name.
Right.
If that get in the wrong hands,
Right.
you can be destroyed for
Yes.
like you can
Yes.
really get messed
Be
up.
going to jail
What?
for nothing. They tried Russell Simmons too. I want to say.
Oh wow, it's a lot of people that have been
Jermaine
through it.
Jermaine Dupri said that's a big mistake, and he never went to jail. But
Yeah.
they tried it though.
Exactly.
That's a fact.
Exactly. So, you know, I really treat my customers and my clients like family. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have them issues. I've never had them issues.
Right.
Like they come get their taxes done. They send their families. They could trust me. I've never had. I don't do the type of stuff.
And you've been doing it 12 years.
Yeah, I don't do the type of
Your
stuff.
name
I don't
your name
have
would've
issues.
been out there already.
Yeah, I don't have
Big-
issues.
big
You know what I'm saying? I
facts.
just don't have those issues.
Yeah, we don't have issues down
Don't
here in
have those
Shabella,
issues.
You know, everything is on the up and up. So
Yeah.
make sure y'all come on
So
down.
financial literacy is really, really important.
Very important. It's a lot of stuff that they don't teach our kids in school.
Oh, no.
They just teach them stuff just to say they going to school.
Yeah, which is not helping.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. And then I have the shoe store.
As y'all
And
can see.
I'm really big into fashion, and fashion for me is a mood booster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be going anywhere. I put on my clothes every day.
Right.
It helps me get through the day. It helps me get through whatever I'm dealing with and challenges.
Right.
Shay, where you going? Nowhere. I woke up. I woke up this morning. I put my clothes. I'm putting on these stilettos.
They always say a happy house is a clean house.
So, yeah.
If your car clean, it make you feel good.
Yeah.
And you ain't got nowhere to go. It make you want to ride.
Yeah.
So if you clean clothes every day, it make you just want to get up and do stuff.
You can't nobody tell what you're going through. They can't tell if you got $1, if you're broke, if you're going, or you're rich. Can't
Facts.
nobody tell, because at the end of the day,
Facts.
we already know that it's not about money, because we've saw a lot of people, famous people, that have taken their lives or lost their lives.
Right.
And they got money.
A lot of money.
It ain't even about money.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's about, do you like you, and do you have self-esteem and confidence to make it through that next day?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we all got stuff we got to work on. And I tell people, if you make a list of things you need to work on with pertaining to you, right? Once you clear out that list, you're going to have to do another list. Because we gonna have something to the day we die.
That's a
We're going to be
fact.
fixing us to the day we die.
That's a fact.
But long as we just work on us every single day, just attempt and try.
You just said it a minute ago.
You know what I'm saying? That's
New
that's
level,
it.
new devil.
That's it.
More money, more problems.
That's it.
That's a fact.
We all got something we dealing with, been through. Everybody.
So speaking of dealing with, do you want to get into a little bit of,
Yeah, I can.
because I think it's a big issue. I think people should come down and support this issue, because you put in a lot of work in this building, and for somebody to actually try to force you out of this place, I don't think that's fair.
It's definitely not.
It's not fair. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So, when I came here from Northgate in July of 2020, and it was very devastating leaving the mall. The mall had closed down. Northgate had been open since, I think, like 1965 or something like that.
Like,
It was a long
wow,
time.
Wow. I didn't know that.
It was open for a long time.
Wow.
Family business, and but yeah. So the mall, COVID happened, and we closed down like everybody else did, and they contacted us and said, we're not opening back up.
Right.
So the mall closed down, and we were business homeless. So I'm just like, I've been in this mall for almost 12 years. So I was hysterical on Facebook, crying, upset, just in total shock.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I had just
yeah,
started the
yeah,
studio in
yeah.
19, and we had a booming podcast.
Right.
Like, I had a huge podcast.
Right.
Wow,
Wow.
now Wednesdays.
Word?
Oh, yeah, it was
Wow.
amazing.
That's
we
big.
had artists come in, local artists would come in, and we would interview them. And it was just really, really like this. The recording studio was popping.
Right.
And I had to build that area. So it wasn't already there. We had to build it. So when COVID happened, they put us out, and they said, the mall's not opening back up. Devastating. Because I'm just like, okay, here we go. Like, I just invested my money in this studio, and we gotta go.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's
So that was heartbreaking.
That's crazy.
So trying to find a retail commercial space during COVID was insane, because you really couldn't meet people. You really couldn't see stuff. You really couldn't see the building. So it was a whole disastrous mess, pretty much. And I ended up, coming. I ended up calling a number and explaining to the guy. Seemed like a really nice guy. Explaining to the guy about, I was at Northgate, and what I did, and I ran for mayor, and I'm in the community. And he was like, "Wow, I really like what you're doing."
right.
And he said, "Well, go by and look at the space. We haven't purchased it yet, but we're going to purchase it in the next couple of weeks. It's under contract." I said, "Okay, cool." So I went by and I looked at the place, which is here.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, this is like really huge. I'm like, this is like really a leap of faith. Like, I just left Northgate, and my two spaces together at Northgate was like 1,500 square feet.
Right.
Now, you mean tell me I'm going to come over here and have 6,000 square feet? How much your rent going to be?
Right. Wow.
How much your rent going to be? And I'm over here in the uppity area. They done redid this area. I'm like, okay, I don't know if I could do this. So just coming here and like, this is insane. Like,
This is a big mission.
I don't
you
know.
gotta
I don't know
tackle.
if I'm ready for this. Like, I wanted to upgrade, but this like, I don't know now. So I'm like, I like it.
We got toys coming.
Toys coming?
We
Okay.
got toys coming.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, I like it. I like it. Like, I like it. And I'm like, and my ex-husband was like, you're not going to be able to afford it. You're not going to be able to do this. Like, this is a lot, Shay. Like, you think you got? I was like, I got this. I got this. Like, man, bye. I got this.
Oh, wow.
So I got the space. I'm here. And I moved here and July 17, 2020, August of 2020, the developer of U Hill, Caucasian man,
Right.
came over in the shoe store area with no mask on, yelling and screaming at my ex-husband. What are we doing over here? We don't own anything. Why are we here? Just being very just nasty and rude.
Really?
Just very hateful. And I'm like, and I was at O2 Fitness being neighborly, meeting the neighbors, because it was only me and another business out here, and O2 Fitness had just opened up.
Right.
And he said, my husband had called me, his ex-husband had called me, said, you need to get over here now, with some white guy over here, and he's tripping. Oh. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what is he driving?
Toys is coming in. The toys is
Zenobia
coming
Kids
in.
Camp just came by for the toy drive.
Awesome.
Come on down, bring some more toys.
That's
Thank
what's
you,
up.
Zenobia
Yeah.
Kids Camp. Thank you very
Zenobia
much.
Kids Camp, man. That's
Zenobia
what's
Kids
up.
Camp.
Yay,
Salute.
thank you. So my ex-husband was like, he's driving a black truck. So I'm like, okay. So I go to the apartment complex trying to figure out who this man was and why was he so upset or whatever.
Right.
And I ended up seeing him drive down by the apartment complex, and he gets out. He's putting cones on the bed of the truck, and I was like, excuse me, sir. And I'm like, okay, maybe he ignored me because my hair is green. I got on a Biden-Harris hat, and I got on a vote shirt.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know. Maybe he's upset about that or whatever. So I approached this Caucasian man, and I'm like, excuse me, sir. May I ask what your name is? He looked like he didn't hear me. So I said it again. He turns around and looks me dead in my face and was like, I ain't got to tell you nothing.
Really?
In my face. And I was like,
Wow.
so at that moment, my self-esteem hit the ground.
Wow.
I lost all self-esteem.
Really?
Because I'm like, okay, like, what's the problem?
Right.
What's going on? I don't even know you. I'm trying to figure out what your name is. You came to my place of business yelling and screaming because we were moving glass out of here, hauling it on the sidewalk, and he was like, we couldn't do that. And I'm like, they were not there smoking no cigarettes. They were not there drinking. They were working.
Right.
So before that, my ex-husband told me that he was over there they was about to start doing the murals, and he had asked my ex-husband, so what are you guys putting over here? And he began to tell him, and he was, and my ex-husband was like, so what is your name? And again, he never gave his name. So I had to Google this man to get his name. Never gave his name. So after that happened, me and my ex-husband ended up separating. So we ended up separating. I moved here July 2020. We ended up separating December 31st.
Right.
And I left a domestic violence situation.
Right.
Married for 17 years.
Right.
And I'm stuck with all this.
With the hole in the bag. Whoa.
Big
bag,
I had bought the flooring, but he had did the flooring, and other than that, studios hadn't been built, walls hadn't been put in. I was stuck doing all of that.
Wow.
I ain't know what I was doing. I gotta rely on people I don't know.
Right.
People came in here, bamboozled me, took advantage of me. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Right.
So while I am trying to get this building up and running off the ground, which took me 2 years, I'm going through a bad divorce.
Right.
And I'm dealing with discrimination.
Right.
And I just got put out of Northgate.
Right. Wow. All at one time. But like
I've been dealing with this for the last 2.5 years.
Whoa. You definitely got to be a strong-minded woman to deal with that. Anybody that go through that will have to be strong-minded.
So, this man has been bothering me for 2 years. I ended up moving into the apartment complex where he owns, and that was disastrous because I didn't want to do it, but I needed someplace safe and secure because I wanted to make sure I was safe. And when I spoke with them, they said, it'll be fine. He's never here. He doesn't live here. He has, we manage it. He's just, he's not here. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up moving over there, and I really liked the place. I didn't like the fact that, he was the owner.
Right.
So in April of 2021, I come to meet a potential client to rent out the space.
Right.
And as I'm pulling up, I see a fence company outside.
Wow.
So I get out the car. I'm like hysterical. I'm upset. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, we don't know, man. We've been directed and ordered to put a fence up, and that's what we're doing. So I'm outside yelling and screaming and crying.
And this fence, it blocks off your
I don't have any accessibility.
Your handicap accessibility.
Correct. When I signed my lease, I had accessibility.
Right.
So at that moment, I called the fire department. I called the city. Everybody's out here trying to figure out what's going on. I called my landlord. We got no notification, no letter, no nothing. So the developer strikes again.
Right.
So he's messing with me again.
Right.
So he puts a fence up blocking my handicap accessibility. When I signed my lease, I had accessibility.
And he's not the owner of the building or the
No.
complex at all. He's just
He's owner of the of the development.
Okay.
So, but his property is adjacent to my property. So he put the fence up on his property line.
Right.
But it's blocking my accessibility. When I signed my lease,
Right.
I had accessibility.
Right.
So for the last 2.5 years, I haven't had accessibility, which has tremendously affected my business.
Affected the business because the
Yes,
steps.
and my landlord hasn't resolved the issue.
Right.
So I'm constantly losing money because of the accessibility.
Right.
So after that happened, and that's still going on, October, probably like a couple of months before that or after that, I started having college parties in the building.
Right.
And Duke, Carolina, State, and Central students.
Right.
College parties, well over several hundred. No drama,
Right.
no craziness. Just vibing. They having a good time.
Right.
They lit, positive lit,
Right.
right? And it was too many black folk out here for him.
Oh, really? Wow.
So he didn't like it.
The developer.
The developer didn't like it.
Right.
He has a personal vendetta against me. He doesn't like me. And I've done nothing to this man. I don't know this man. So October comes around, and my landlord calls me, and he was like, we have a problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, we have a lawsuit against us for your business. I said, what do you mean? And he was like, the developer is suing us because he said that you're a nuisance to the community. You bring in his property value, and people park in his parking lot. I'm like, what?
Wow. That's totally disrespectful. That's crazy.
That's discrimination.
Yes. A fact.
So they did a video, and they have the pictures in the lawsuit of course, all African American North Carolina Central students. And basically what was said was that they found shell casings in his parking lot, which has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Because Luna is a nightclub, is over on this
Right up the
side,
street. Right.
that has had shootings and killings.
For years.
Cookout, and this year too. Cookout has had a whole bunch of stuff going on. I lived in an apartment complex, so I heard all the commotion and the noise. Why are you not suing Cookout or Luna? Why are you bothering me? And I've not had not one incident, and I've not done anything.
Right. Here.
So-
and yours ain't even connected to over there.
Yeah, right. So, lawsuit happens, and still I have no handicap accessibility. When I do events here, people will come in video. They will take pictures. Constant bullying, harassing. They do it from a distance. They do it away, not on my property, but they still do it.
I actually, when you told me about that, them taking pictures, we actually caught a guy taking pictures.
Yeah.
You had went to the store or something, and we was here, and then When Moray was coming, the day Moray was coming, he called me, said, yo, I'm downstairs. I go outside to go and get him from downstairs, and I'm hearing zzz. I'm like, man, I know that sound. I know that's a drone. I look up, the drone literally was probably 10 feet up over my head. And I'm looking at him. As soon as the drone see me look at it, it flies all the way over there, and it go up for a minute, and it see that we stayed on it. And I called Q and Mike and all of them to come outside. And then we stayed watching it. And it watched, and it went all the way over there to the cookout. And Mike jumps over the fence to go over there and ask the guy. We got it on camera as well.
Yeah.
So if you need that for court, we have that. And,
It's
and the
ridiculous.
guy, he zoomed the camera in. The drone came down, and he took it. And Mike was pressing him about, who are you? Why are you doing that? He said, I'm just test driving it. Why are you standing in the cookout? Then he walked inside the cookout. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, because the Happy Hill employees, they'll come outside and they'll video. They videoed about a month ago. You know, they haven't set up yet, but they haven't started yet, but they're setting up. Like, so you got this man, Caucasian man, paying these black kids the video and stalk me for what? I have not done anything.
Right.
So it's like I'm a prisoner in my own building.
Right.
That I have totally transformed,
Right.
that's set for 20 years,
Right.
and I put over $200,000 in here,
Right.
and y'all don't want me out here. So pretty much, if I leave, the lawsuit goes away. So right now, I have a discrimination case against the developer, with the city of Durham.
Right.
But it's a process, and it's just it's been very depressing, to say the least.
I can understand.
I'm doing good because I'm not crying right now. Because usually
Right.
I'll be crying.
Right. Facts.
I'm just tired of crying. It's just like I don't understand. It's like when you have somebody that has used their money,
Right.
right, to open up a space, because we as black people in this community, we don't have anything that we can say that's ours.
Right.
We don't.
No, we
So I put my love and myself into to make this place nice. It's very nice, elegant, classy.
Yes.
This is my business, but this is for the community, for my people, to say
Right.
we have something of excellence. So they
Right.
already know when you come up in here, you're going to conduct yourself accordingly.
Yes.
It's excellent in here, and I want you to be excellent and great while you in here.
That's right.
And then maybe you'll carry that excellent and great outside, right?
Facts.
And it's just hurtful because, you know, it's so many gifts and talents that come through here. I have the dance team in here. They love the space. It's just really hurtful.
Yeah.
That, you know, I don't do a whole lot of talking. I'm more of an action person.
Right.
I don't like somebody that's gonna do a whole bunch of talking and you don't do nothing. Don't talk my head off. What you doing?
Right.
What is let me see your fruit. Let me see your labor.
Right.
If you ain't producing no fruit, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Don't talk my head off what you want to do, what you can do.
Right.
What are you doing? Let me
Yeah.
see action.
Yes. Facts.
So I'm an action person, and I delivered what I said I was going to do, and I feel like I don't have the support of the community because it's like people that are like, "What, we thought that situation was resolved." No, it's not resolved. It's gotten worse.
Right.
And I have a cease and desist. You know what I'm saying? They don't want me out here. It's gotten worse, and it's hard to fight somebody. I'm strong, but this man. Somebody told me, they said, you know, when you get white people, when they don't like you and they after you, they can, even though they'll stick together to get rid of you.
Right.
But black people, if we don't like each other, we're not gonna come together. But white people, they come together. And I'm in the middle of these two white men, both have money. The developer's a billionaire. He's $1 billion. He has $1 billion in assets.
Right.
I've been fighting for 2.5 years. I'm tired.
Right.
I am mentally and physically tired. On top of the divorce, trying to get this building open up,
Right.
leaving Northgate, the pandemic. I've been through hell and back these last 2 years,
Right.
2.5 years. And I just feel like, you know, I have a lot of people have came to me, asked for my information, said they were going to help me, and they ain't done nothing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They haven't done absolutely nothing.
That's crazy.
And it's like, I'm tired of talking about it, because it's like, you ain't going to help me. You don't care. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And my thing is, if you care about the community, if nothing else, you care about the community, you would come help me figure out how to fight this man, because he has people, you know, not just him. He's paying people, or he has people watching me and doing dumb stuff, videoing my events and
Right. That's crazy. But we not too good to be here and do business and bring our people here to better
Oh, yeah,
our
the
people.
whole-
But we good enough to go to their Target stores
oh yeah, definitely.
and to their what's the little restaurant over there, the cookouts.
Yeah.
We good to go to
Yeah.
those in this area.
And people, they don't
whatever
realize
else.
that what's going on because they're like, well, he has murals out here. Them murals for you to come out here and spend your money.
Right.
You're not coming out here to conduct no business.
Right.
You're not coming out here to conduct no business. He don't want you out here doing no business, but you can come out here and spend your money.
Right. Facts.
So it don't look like that discrimination is being going on, but it is.
Yeah,
Because
that's
I
a
haven't
fact.
done nothing to this man. I don't know this man. I don't owe this man no money.
Right.
He's had a personal vendetta against me ever since I've been out here, which is 2.5 years.
Right.
And I can see if I was a nuisance, if I was doing stuff, but I haven't had one incident with the hundreds of people that have been on this property. But Cookout and Luna hasn't. He's not suing neither one of them.
Right.
He don't like my black tail,
Right.
and I ain't done nothing.
Right.
So it's very hurtful. People, they'll say, we're sorry you're going through this. We're going to pray for you. This is a whole nother type of hurt.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with somebody that don't like you and don't know you, and they looking at your skin color, and they looking at people that patronize your business skin color,
Right.
that's a whole nother feeling.
Right.
Like, it's depressing. It makes me feel less than, and it makes me feel unworthy, which I know that I'm not. But just the presence of him just makes me feel that way.
Right.
Like, I feel like I'm a prisoner in my own facility that I built. I built this place.
Right. Facts.
But I can't fully conduct my business because this white man won't allow me or my people to be great.
Right. How could he do a cease and desist order on you? It has nothing to do with him.
Yeah, he did.
What in a court of law let it go through to actually? That don't even make sense.
None of this makes
Now,
sense.
see, when you do those cease and desist things, is because you using somebody else's
Well,
brand.
he's turned my landlord against me. So me and my landlord, our relationship is a little different now because my landlord is like, we didn't do anything. I'm like, I didn't do anything but be black and be in business and be a woman.
Right.
So he's being sued because of me, right?
Right.
So his thing
That's
is
crazy.
so he's being sued, so it's affected his business, and my business has dropped tremendously because of the suit. So I can't conduct business like normal because it took me 2 years to get the space up and running. So how I sustained was with events.
Right.
So events have gotten me through because, if I'm trying to get because it took a lot to get this building up to
and
par.
running, right.
So while I was, working and getting the building together, I was working.
Right.
So the events, just was great for me. It worked. You know what I'm saying? The tax office and events were great. And now, with so many restrictions and I can't do this, I can't do that. And because again, if they could affect my business, I can't pay my bills, I
Right.
get put out.
Right.
So that's his whole purpose. He does not like me. He doesn't want me out here because it's too many of us out here and he doesn't want this for the community.
Right.
I can have a recreational center, but just not out here.
Right.
They said just not out here. They don't want it out here.
Right. Wow. That's crazy.
So
I'm thinking now, man. And then you said people was saying they was gonna help and haven't heard anything
yeah,
from
nobody.
anybody.
Yeah. It's just
Hopefully
like
somebody
I don't
see
know.
this
I don't know
interview.
if people are scared of him because
Right.
I've reached out to some people, and they're like, well, I don't want to get involved. I'm just like,
Well, that's crazy.
yeah, nobody wants to get involved. So I'm like, okay, he's scaring y'all too.
Right. That's crazy.
So, but
Oh.
yeah, that's what's going on. The whole thing is just crazy.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't have any accessibility. If you are handicapped and you need accessibility,
That's crazy.
not at my building because I don't have it, and I've lost a lot of money
Right.
because of that, and I haven't got any type of compensation. Because of that, rent has went up, and they still want business as usual, but my business has tremendously took a hit because of this lawsuit.
That right there alone, that no access for wheelchairs, that alone should have been against the law some type of way.
But with the city, their thing is because it's a private developer. He's a private developer.
Right.
So because he's a private developer, we have to work it out with the developer. he not gonna work it out with me because he don't like me. He don't want me out here.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So he's not working on nothing. He's just
Right.
not communicating because he
Right.
doesn't want me out here.
Right.
So that's why I did a discrimination case through human relations because it is discrimination because of what he did. I'm literally boxed in like a dog.
Right.
I'm boxed off from the community.
Right.
So if you drive by here, my business is fenced in.
Right.
Nobody else's business is fenced in.
Right. None.
None. And when I signed my lease, I had accessibility.
Right. None of that was here.
Oh yeah, none of that. None of that.
Right.
Because if I would have moved over here, I wouldn't have took my $200,000, and I could have went and bought a building.
Right. That's a fact.
I wouldn't have came over here.
That's a fact.
I wouldn't have came over here. So it's like I got bamboozled, but I don't think that my landlord knew he was racist, right?
Right.
But at the end of the day, how do we fix it? Because it's a problem and it hasn't been fixed, and it's affecting me as well as my landlord. But at the end of the day, I'm the one.
Right.
What am I supposed to do?
Right. That's crazy. That's a tough situation. We gotta get our people to start sticking together, man. Hopefully somebody see this interview and they can come poke their chests out and go and basically it's lawyers that's really needed bad right now. Really bad.
It's just hard, hard trying to pay for an attorney and then pay my bills.
Right.
Right.
Facts.
So because people want money and I get it. But again, ain't too many folks running around when they doing stuff. They getting donated. People are donating stuff to them,
Right.
or they getting stuff for free, or they getting sponsors. I ain't had no sponsor. I ain't had no donation.
Right. That's what's crazy.
Come on, people. My dumb tail took my money, which is not dumb, but I feel dumb when I'm going through this.
Right, but you didn't
Because
see that.
I'm thinking about
You didn't see
the
that.
community. I'm thinking about the youth. Thinking about the people.
Right. You was thinking on a whole nother thing
Yeah.
about helping somebody.
Yeah, and then so it's crazy because me helping, look what it has turned into. Now you got people out here that ain't helping and they ain't got to deal with what I got to deal with.
Right.
So it's like I'm just like, dang, like you got people out here that don't care about the kids, don't care about the community.
Right.
They not dealing with what I'm dealing with, but my behind being back to back to back to back to back. I'm like, I've not done nothing to nobody,
That's crazy, man.
and I'm getting treated like this.
Yo,
so that's
listen.
just the hurtful. That's the hurtful part.
People, y'all heard it right here from the big dog herself. And it's like we might need to go start a GoFundMe page and pay for some lawyers to go and get on this situation. Like for real. Cause we can't let this happen to one of our own.
Protest something.
We
I'm
need to
tired.
start
I'm tired.
protesting.
Like I'm philly and mentally tired of dealing with this.
It's a
It's like
fact.
I've been fighting it and fighting it. I've been dealing with this since August of 2020. I'm tired. And at the end of the day, I know it's like, he's trying to wear me down.
Exactly.
So I'll get tired.
Right.
And I'm getting to that point. I'm just tired.
Exactly. Well, we're gonna have to try and speed it up. Like I said, hopefully this interview y'all see and understand how we should be sticking together, man. For real. We gonna put together some protesting, man, and them targets is flooded with people. Before I came here today to start this toy drive, it flooded with our brown and black people walking up in there. And I have nothing against white people. Some white people, some of my best friends, and it's about white people that don't like us.
And I don't have nothing. I love people, period. I
Right,
love all
facts.
people. But for me, this has been difficult because I've never had an issue with anyone to this extent. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
if you never experienced it, it's hard for me to describe how I'm feeling.
Right.
But it's not a good feeling when
Definitely.
somebody don't know you
Yeah.
and they want to destroy you,
Right.
and you ain't done nothing but helping the community.
Yeah, you ain't minding your business.
Minding my
taking care
business.
of
Never
doing
had
what
no
you doing.
situation. Never had no incident. I beautified the place.
Right.
So I made the property so much better than it was. And
it's-
you don't like me. I've not done anything. You don't like my business model because I got too many black folk out here. You don't want a community center out here.
Right.
Like, why I got that right there out there, that's the community garden. I want to be able to feed people. I have the
Right.
clothes closet.
Right.
I have the washing machine and the dryer for people that can't afford to wash and dry their clothes.
Right.
This space is about self-esteem and empowering and teaching self-esteem and confidence through fashion, talent,
Right.
music, the arts, financial literacy, and community service. And
Right.
that's exactly what I do. And It is not wanted out here. It's just not.
That's crazy.
I'm not wanted out here.
We got to stand up, y'all. Something that we can do. For real. We're gonna start a GoFundMe, and we're gonna put together some type of protest.
And a lot of people know about it. I think a lot of people say, well, Shea, did it get resolved? No, it ain't get resolved.
Right.
This man has what am I trying to say?
Vendetta.
A vendetta. He's just against me. He doesn't like me.
Right.
It's a personal.
And he don't even know why he don't like you. He just don't like you.
I'm not doing
because he feel like he has the right to don't like anybody.
Yeah, and because I stand up for myself.
Right.
It's like, I'm gonna fix this little black girl.
Right.
And it's just, he just not gonna stop. He just keep poking at me and poking at me and poking at me.
Power struck.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, facts.
And it's crazy. I can't even explain it.
Well,
but if you never experienced it, it's a whole nother feeling. It just.
Y'all see her Instagram page up there, man. Y'all go and, hit her up, show her some love. If y'all know somebody that knows somebody that can help out what we got going on right now here at this community center, because it's very important. This is for our kids. This is for somebody that might be hungry one day and walk by and say, yo, I need a sandwich. We can supply that right here. It's all about we keeping everything in-house, keeping us even though we ain't family, but we all family. Mm-hmm. And that's just the bottom line, man. So I'm calling all my black people. I'm calling all my white people up to come and help out with this situation. Because a guy like that is, a woman or a guy like that is not, should not have the right to do such a thing just because he has the power or the money. Really, his power is not that long. It's just about he has the money to do that. Mm-hmm. When you got money to stay in court a long time, that's normally how cases get won. Mm-hmm. So we come together and save this right here for our kids. It's not even about
right and wrong, because of course he's not right.
Right.
But he has the money. You
right.
see what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
All my money is tied up in this building.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So.
Facts.
We
can't let that happen, man. We gotta we gotta do something, y'all. For real. So y'all get ready. We're gonna start this run. And make sure y'all don't forget, hit her up, man. If y'all know something right there, hit me up. And y'all come on down here. Come check the shoe store out, ladies. We doing the toy drive.
You got men's shoes too?
We live. Oh yes, we got the men's
shoes.
We got the men's shoes over there, and that's some big boy shoes, man.
Oh yeah.
That's for them grown men, big boy events,
Louisiana.
corporate events, laid back smooth joints too. You ain't even gotta be an event.
Yep.
So we got it all, man. Y'all know what it is. We still gonna be here for a little while. I got the first interview from the big dog, and we got the gifts right here. Yeah. Yep. So you can see over here too. We got the gifts. We got some more over there. Somebody gonna be smiling. Somebody's kid. That's what it's all about.
Yep.
The kids smiling. And we'll still be here rolling. So y'all just stick around. We're gonna let the cameras roll a little bit.